Welcome back. We've got ourselves Mirage, a pick that I find tetchy, but hey, maybe it gives the Mongolian menace some more hope behind them. Rare Adam coming in as favorites as we head into 2022 with a bit of Asian.
Annihilation already getting off to funny business down middle, but actually getting a back exposed to him. Was expecting a straight up fight. Took a lot of damage for that duel as well, so down to 26 is our Mongolian AWPer, and they're making a play over towards the B-bomb side here on the side of Rare Adam, but Bartak's ready to take the first piece of contact. Advent and Kaze eventually overwhelmed, but scores undetected.
Score could be that X factor, but the bomb has already started to move backwards. The question is, how exactly are they looking to shape this one through to the A site? Mercury's got a whole lot of cover over to jungle, but the problem is rotations from IHC have recognized that possibility. Big kill for Jamyang, finds Bartek on the lurk, and Mercury secures CT. They can't actually start pushing through. They know he's right on the other side, contending them. All three players coming up from CT spawn. This is going to be a hard one. Advent can't keep an eye out for them as they start to push through. Mercury, good for the first score, however, turns it around with 2 quick kills. The time is ticking away. The bomb is ticking down, and bLitz is going to be the one to lead the charge. Has to find the headshots, not getting anything out of it. Kaze brings him down, now just ducking away inside jungle, doubles up, and it's Rare Adam to find the round despite losing out that early advantage.
Really good call there from Rare Adam overall. Showed this presence in middle, did damage to Annihilation, and then as soon as they took this contact on B, once they realized that it was Bartak that was pulled away from Cat, there was not going to be anyone to spot for a potential lurk into the ladder room, and as soon as they had Jamyang in that spot, they just re-navigate to A, and then that post plant from Connector just a bit too strong. So really well done from the Chinese squad alongside Kaze. No, he's not. He's actually Malaysian, so one of the few representatives we have from that region.
Do people in Malaysia generally speak like Mandarin or Cantonese?
I think Mandarin. It depends on the household.
Okay.
You know, you definitely have Bahasa as well, and there's Malay. You know, there's a few different languages that are kicking about that country. So it's all to do with where your family comes from.
A lot of ground given up on IHC, not going for a stack or anything like it will make this a little bit more unlikely. Annihilation is brought down. Mercury and Mosea just making sure this is about as clean as can be. Not a single player lost so far. And not too much life either. Techno, last one standing.
And oh, I was going to say Dead Man Walking, but they actually allow themselves to complete the full team ace. Jamyang's plucked that right from under Mosea's nose, so it's all about teamwork at the end of the day. We're at a very bog standard round. It was against the Force Buy, but IHC unable to do any significant damage. No casualties taken by the attack. So now onto USPs, and you know, you're sort of highlighting that this could be a map that maybe Rare Adam would regret picking into. So far, things have been going to plan, so it might have just been about how things start off, because I think I was kind of with you. You know, IHC have had some very good performances on Mirage as of late as well. And they've got better repetitions, you know. They're playing against European teams, you know, with the opportunities they've had at the majors, so.
Of course, a small reminder to everyone. Bartek is playing instead of Cabal right now. He is generally sort of the standard 6th player regardless. He has been shuffled in and out in the past 2 events as well. One of them was played with Bartek, one of them with Cabal. So I will not lie to you and say I know exactly what the circumstances are around who the initial 5th is. But, you know, we'll find out as the year goes on.
I can imagine it's something you want to permanently replace. People like Cabal. Pretty good player. Another one that people have their eye on from the region
Mag
as
7
well.
machine. Don't forget that ever.
Big appreciator.
So yeah, right now not appreciating the pepper as he is being brought down one by one. They're going to be boosting up to try and take some fights with pistols. That's generally not the most advisable circumstance to put yourself in, but hey, you got to make your way out of this somehow, and they've realized that apartments is really the only open route for business. Bartek's going to try and contend with Kaze in the meanwhile, but that's just a freebie waiting to happen, even if it's a little bit off and over.
Yeah, Kaze shouldn't overface on this fight. Already lost 1 rifle. To be honest, the damage is pretty good from IHC, all things considered. And it means that they don't have to reinvest in another rifle. Someone can use that Galil and try and put it to good use. Techno will be the one to wield it, but AWP is now out for Annihilation. Somebody we definitely want to highlight. He's the star man that I think some people had pegged to sort of elevate himself outside of the region with how aggressive he used to play. It's not a AWPing style that's very common, especially at the top level, but he's taken more cautious ways recently.
Mercury trying to move in, straight for the entry he goes. Always good for those, and Jamyoung covering him off from the stairs. Will also be forced to smoke himself off as Mercury requires the assistance. Deep Molotov will not catch out bLitz. He's still going to have an opportunity to move past, but he's burning inside. That's information given up and given away. Grenade to the feet of Mercury, but he's still alive. Re-smoke on connector will keep him as such. bLitz still evading Molotovs, but not for too long. He finally spreads over, but he moves out and gets the frag. Advent now left in sandwich, and you can see Mosea's prioritizing the circle around. That's where Annihilation has to cover him off if they end up going for this retake, and as the bomb's still got plenty of time on it, Advent's got to find this kill. bLitz is down, but Mosea's a trade, and Techno's right there, only traded out soon after. Annihilation all alone, and there's nothing he can do. A 1-on-2 where he will be forced to retreat and save the op.
A real shame here for Annihilation because he was super patient waiting for someone to peek from triple, and then even found a good timing coming out from middle where he was actually looking for that potential reposition from Mosea. Dealt with the potential reposition and afterplant spot that would have been a complete round ender, but still unable to get any of his riflers to have the same level of effect on the retake attempt. Loving the change of pace there as well from Rare Adam, just the fact that they pushed Mercury into a position where you could just burst into that A bomb site. It's a bit of a risk, you know, smoked off the choke point at A, where, you know, going in and trading for the rest of his team would have been a death sentence if he tried to move through that smoke. But a must-hit shot that ultimately led to a round conversion. Annihilation will take a chance at an AWP swing from middle, but the secondary AWP in Score's hand is actually what breaks the silence. Mosea peeking in from the B side and not expecting another AWP to be there.
It's funny that they're prioritizing the double op over here with this little utility to me, because they also have 3 M4A1s, and I don't know why, but I associate M4A1s with wanting to have more utility for some reason. Maybe just because grenades obviously help a fair bit. But Kaz is cleared out sandwich. All he has to be careful about is under palace. That's where Bartek will take the duel, had the advantage, but he can't actually follow through. Kaze comes out on top there. That's going to be a painful death to have to deal with.
That's an A1S change there as well, because have the A4 probably finishes off that frag, or old A1S, and that might have made all the difference, but nobody cleared for bLitz, who was ahead of the smoke and towards connector, and Jamyoung also just completely railed. So you highlighted the importance of bLitz and how much of a nuisance this man can be in the connector. This is a round where he shows exactly that.
I mean, even in the previous one, the amount of time he's able to stay alive was just a little bit ridiculous. He dodged out multiple Molotovs, stayed inside the smoke cubby for God knows how long, moves out while he's low, gets the kill despite the enemy player holding the angle for him and everything. bLitz is really good in connector. Now, IHC looking to start off their first round, but there's still plenty of money in Rare Adam's pockets. They shouldn't have to worry about too much.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, we're talking about I think we've mentioned in previous broadcasts just how good Score is and how, as a young talent, Techno is fantastic. You know, you've got Annihilation that I think many pegged within the region as a top-level AWPer with how aggressive he is and he can take control of games. Because in these recent tournaments, towards the tail end of last year, bLitz is the one that sort of outperforms all of them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's had greater impact. He has just about as many kills as any of his stars. And he's doing it while Colin too, so yeah, man's not to be underrated. Probably has the best deagle in the Asia region as well.
Wouldn't be surprised if that's true. It's really good. bLitz now. Be careful, that's a boost up. Oh, I would love it so much if that was a smoke missed on purpose, but looks like they don't know about it because they're just keeping an eye out for connector. Meanwhile, Palace is having contention for the crown. Jamyoung not ready to give it up yet, but Bartek won't contend for too long either. Chunker.
Yeah, pretty solid nade onto Mosea, but the Molotov that he gets down onto the end of the balcony will at least force repositions on that B-bomb side. Will keep at least a couple players busy on the CT side as well. They are beginning to posture themselves over towards the A side instead, with Mosea taking a lurking position and having these three clustered up inside of Palace. Does seem like they are somewhat ready for this, though. 3 very close proximity. Pretty standard site hold, aside from Bartek trying to play a different position. You know, last time seen under balcony, now trying to take another spot where hoping that Rare Adam won't clear for him.
Shouldn't be too easy to flash him off either, which is incredibly important with Kaze's angle. Oh, if he just finds Blitz, this would be huge. It's a full palace spot. They need to take Blitz down. Bartek will be left to try and deal with him as they drop. Gets the first bomb's been dropped as well. Repositions, has to just try and dodge out that player from A. Main finds Stu while he's doing it, and a smoke will come through, but not to extinguish the Molotov, just to give him a bit more cover. Blitz, in the meanwhile, somehow dying through the smoke for Kaze, and he's been left with Mosea with a tall order.
It's going to come down to whether or not he can pull this off. I mean, lurk smoke here for Kaze, but making so much presence, and Mosea gets nothing, so Kaze will fall just as quickly. It looked really uncomfortable there for Bartek all in all. You can see within the bomb site, he gets flashed up initially, you know, takes that first duel, and he's just constantly trying to move his feet into different spots, which can be very dangerous if Rare Adam have good spacing or they have more presence out from ramp. But with the setup of them having 3 in Palace, there was no one in a great position to trade. You know, when you run out from that Palace position, you are exposed to basically every angle possible on that A site. So, yeah, great moves from Bartek to exploit that weakness.
Now just the Tech-9s and an AK behind them. Okay, no one's home there. Mosea, freebie, maybe. Not quite. Techno will stay alive, courtesy of his hips being the only place attack, but Jamyoung is there to take him down soon after. Score isolated at the back of the bomb site as a casualty waiting to happen, and with Kaze's AK recovered, it needed to be him as he's dropped the bomb. Blitz will be able to recover what he can, but beyond giving them a 2v2, that's very doable, as Advent will be the only person to potentially pick up that bomb. This is still going to be a very difficult road back into the site.
It's get across to get that M4 as well, because it knows it can be an angle that's being held. So taking extra caution, smoke at the window, and now they're going to try and get that bomb on back so they can get the one planted, but going to try and move through that smoke. Mercury has so many angles to be concerned about and doesn't have enough space to cover the planter. Advent's gone, so Mercury 1-on-2, and round the smoke, Annihilation make sure that Bartek would go traded even if he should fall. So IHC, it's a series of rounds in a row. 3 now straight. Rare Adam being stumped by a Mongolian wall.
That is such a good retake. I mean, look, Blitz is the one to put up the first line of defense in a significant manner where, you know, they're able to make up for the fact that they've lost out 2 players. But Bartek, wow. Just the presence of mind to go for that, realizing... Personally, I'll be honest, I think he realized where the smoke was coming from, and the fact that he doesn't actually... the player couldn't cross sooner as well. He just knew where the second man was. Isolates out the duel completely versus the bomb. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think they wanted that smoke to go a little deeper, but... and outside the window, too much space to cover. You can see Rare Adam are kind of 2 minds in several of these rounds. They've, you know, when you look back at the pistol round, they re-navigated. You know, some of that was to set the conditions to win the round later. But they're really hoping that IHC change up, though, the way that they're playing the CT side so that they might be able to exploit it with a couple different attacking setups as well. They were set up at A, but now they've postured for B, and Techno's got a smoke prime for it, but has to be the one that holds true to this. He's the main anchor and fully flashed off the angle. No one's clearing for it as of yet, but Mercury does go into haphazardly. Make sure that this B bomb site is completely theirs. The Jamyoung kill should solidify this. IHC have no stake on B.
I would be very surprised if they go for this retake. Doesn't look like they plan. Now they will be retreating. Techno's of 2 minds in that circumstance right there. You know, he's got a smoke out, he's swatting for them, and he does actually see a player crossing over, but after that he doesn't deploy the smoke. He instead decides that, like you said, I don't have anyone with me who can support me in a capacity where it's significant. I have to be the one to stop it. So his entire position becomes comparatively defunct, where, you know, you probably want to play maybe a bit more anti-flash there. You know, maybe even just a different position entirely if you're not the only spotter. So I think he just gets caught off in a very awkward position where he's not sure exactly how to deal with things. And yeah, second man in's going to check that corner.
The worst part is, as well, is that he could never peek deep into the apartments to make sure that when he threw that smoke, he wouldn't get completely overrun. Because if he deploys that and he bounces it off the wall, it gives away exactly what his position is. And he'd very likely just go get rushed down. And he had no catwalk presence to, again, help alleviate some of that pressure or some of that stress should it have arrived at him. So, Yeah, I think he ran that calculation in his head, ran the little simulation, and he was like, okay, I need to have one gun out. Still, it breaks the string of rounds there from IHC. Annihilation, a little awkward getting over towards short, but I don't think he was spotted, so Advent should be none the wiser, but he has also crossed the top mid boxes, and I don't know that Annihilation knows that.
I think Advent might have seen him because of the fluffy jump, to be honest. Oh, Annihilation!
Come on now.
Get me a bit more of that, please. I gotta love it, man. However, look at Mosaic. Look at the space he's found. They are not expecting this. They are not prepared for this. Mosaic's got a freebie on the bomb site. That leaves bLitz, and he's gone. Despite Annihilation starting off with a little dance up the catwalk, quick kill down mid, Mosaic is the sneaky beaky machine.
Immediately capitalized on that space towards middle. You know, Advent may have died, but actually being a pretty evident sort of retreat from short as well from Annihilation, just knew that that was the hole that could be exploited. So great read on the situation. Don't really know what IHC do to address this, because, you know, we consider the way that they've been winning these past few rounds. You know, we had a nice 3K from bLitz, a nice 3K from Bartek, and then that nice little 2-on-2 played out over on the B-bomb site. There has been a heavy reliance on getting a few multi-kills from the players that you typically expect them from. You know, this was a nice round where Annihilation got the opener after a lot of patience on short.
The problem was, though, I think they left connector because Annihilation actually, funnily enough, got that jump up and he crossed over. bLitz is expecting connector to be covered off completely. There's no one there from CT Spawn to support out Bartek, and that's where, you know, Annihilation just isn't able to quite get that sorted out in the same way. It's one of those things where I appreciate the time being used, because I really think this was just clearly a communication lapse coming through in what was expected from Annihilation.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, because the idea of getting that pick on short and then sort of falling back towards B, I'm hoping, I anticipate that they're expecting that their setup would almost reset. You know, someone would pick up connector, someone would pick up jungle, and they would be able to make those rotations pretty freely. But that's what made Mosaic's play so sneaky, is that he actually slipped through before they could reset. Well, noise in from middle, and Kaze will certainly take that of note. Not in a spot where the Molotov should affect him dearly. Again, this will be an A-leaning play, and it does feel like they want to target both Techno and Bartek, and we've seen some awkward fumbles here from Bartek, in spite of the fact he has about as many kills as anybody else on his team. Mercury's taking space, and nade is pretty decent.
Also, good Molotov. Bartek's going to completely take him down over here. Jamyoung's got the spam as well to follow through, and now it's all down to Techno on this bomb site, and he's being molotov off as well, so there's not as much maneuverability around the smoke that he's thrown from himself. But while they're all focused on him, Mercury is down, and Annihilation has a chance here. Kaze, will he scope in and find the angle, or will it be Annihilation? Oh, he finds a kill, brings it back to a 3-on-3, and with Techno still alive and the smoke now deployed once again, Kaze's position is known, but Advent's taking down Techno. Are they expecting Score to be around the vicinity? They should know with the second smoke being deployed, there must be a second player here as well, but Score has yet to reveal himself, and as he starts to inch forward, it's Sandwich that he has to be careful about. Jamyoung back in Palace, and Score might be forced off. Annihilation's moving out. Jamyoung takes a peek, and Annihilation is gone. A 1-on-2 for Score, but with the clock ticking down low and a kit recovered, he wants to go for it, will not have the chance to do so. Advent shuts him down.
Fantastic flash there from Kaze at the end as well to make Advent's job easier, because the spray was a little whiffed, and if not for that flash, could have been another fight that Score wins out. Not to be, and a little awkward there from on that pursuit through connector. Maybe they were hoping that that same hole could be exploited, but we certainly see Bartek put in a spot where he's kind of trapped. You know, the Molotov funneled him deeper and deeper into the corner on top of the bricks underneath Palace, and as soon as they heard the ticks of that molly, they just spam him to high hell. So yeah, this A bomb site has been, I think, targeted very intentionally here from our Adam these past few rounds. See bLitz trying to pull up something different. And wow, will catch Mosaic as well. Has been very cautious in that underpass area in a number of rounds. But bLitz getting the better of him with a bit of change. Did that play very independently. Didn't have anyone to cover his retreat. Which way do they go this time? Usually in these late rounds, they have reset to B.
Look at the positioning on the B-bomb side player. So they're pushing all the way through. Mercury is just gone. I don't know if he even saw the second player, which will be the real question. Because if Score can go back down underpass to mid undetected, that's going to be a real game changer.
Yeah, I don't think Advent will be anticipating it at all. Making a lot of noise going up capped up.
He's completely revealed his position, but that might end up cheating them away back towards that B-bomb side. Advent, however, with this positional reveal that he is still over in the ladder room, this might be it for the A-bomb side players to realize, but there's the bomb being dropped. Kaze can't follow up Annihilation. Oh my god, he's so brazen. It's a 4-on-2. He's on top of the ticket box. Kaze will not be able to punish him either.
Oh, and Bartak was quick enough on the trigger that Annihilation stayed alive there. Wasn't looking for Palace at all, but yeah, Annihilation really just taking it right to them. But all of this was instigated off of the presence there from bLitz. You know, that one player into the underpass. Once they recognized that it was Mosaic, you know, sometimes I think we've seen Mosaic actually take very forward aggression over towards B, or maybe having Mercury alongside him. But they double push B and they found nobody else, so knew that they could fully clear mid as well. Trying to use that Mercury entry over at A, again, just immediately dissipating that Molotov and using the smoke as well. Scaling will be great here for Rare Adam, but the spam from Bartak actually stops them before they get too much room. They need to take CT if they're going to get anything, and that kill from Mercury might just seal a plant.
Once again, when Annihilation gets that sick movement to be able to go straight down mid a little bit faster over, seems like sometimes that A-side resources can be lacking. Mercury focused and zoned in with the shadow of bLitz showing initially. This is just a freebie. Forces the second player off with the flashbang as well. Grenade to the face, but it will not matter. Blind as a bat, and he's still deadly. My god. They are not giving up at all. Rare Adam, 8th is practically guaranteed. There's only really damage you can hope to do as a CT side, and even that damage is mitigated. The ninja attempt coming through, but it will not connect. Techno ends up losing out.
Yeah, I mean, 3 AKs spraying at you through a smoke. There's just too many bullets to dodge. Too many misses need to happen. Very desperate attempt there, but IHC fighting tooth and nail to try and get back in on that retake. Rare Adam not missing a beat, and it seems like they've been able to get very good consistency out of Mercury, especially with him being a space taker. They've been trying to use him to pry bar into these sites, whether it's been at B or the A site. A site's definitely been the more fruitful for his labor. See a different face here from IHC. I think an isolated duel at the start of this round, but well, they might poke and probe over towards ramp. There's very little away presence. Can't be said the same about B though. Advent, good kill into Techno, who had not only him but Mosaic alongside him. So they have found an entry, and Jamyoung actually spots as well the advancing position of bLitz, but they're trying to hunt this player down.
Oh, they connect with it as well. Still, in the process of actually pushing forward, they've left the B-bomb side a little bit more open. Score, however, there to shut it right back down. Even finds space to retreat backwards. He gets a second as well. He's heard the third player dropping down. So much space being given to him. Score is untouchable. He is immortal. He's working around and around the pillars. Gets 3. What in the world is going on? Somebody make this guy a B anchor.
Scary spot now for Kaze, 1-on-3 after it was made a 1-on-4 initially. Post plant, they're not going to separate too heavily, and good shot from Annihilation. Very quick work as well. But yeah, you're right to highlight Score. Sure, he gets 3 kills, but it's the manner in which he does it, you know, stays alive for so long that even if Kaze wanted to try and pull this clutch off, it was made practically impossible by how much IHC were set up for the retake.
That just reminds me of like Perfecto in Navi's quote-unquote era on Inferno, where it's just like, oh, you want to kill me? I'm just not here. Oh, I am here. I'm not here anymore. Well, and Score can be pretty nuts. Just a small reminder to everyone.
I think we've had a couple fancy footwork plays so far from IHC. Bartek's have certainly had his on A, but maybe less fancy, more stumbled into the right spots to beat.
It's all about the dancing. Oh, yay, yay, yay.
Good catch.
Can't really dance when your hands are full. Oh. Oh, nerdy. That's the Palace spot flashbang coming in, but Bartek avoided it. Kaze trades it out regardless. Annihilation will just be looking to cover things out with the Tech 9 flushing him down. This will be a little bit dangerous, but flashes or not, he will still go for it. Reveals his position. Got the backup of bLitz, and what in the world? Annihilation! What is this? 2019?
He's all deathmatching right now, and everybody hates an old deathmatcher.
It is true.
I mean, he just looks very sharp on it. And this has been an adaptation here from IHC. Wasn't sure if this was going to be a trend that we see from their defensive setups, but we saw at the start of this half, Annihilation taking a lot of fights towards middle. You know, he was making the cat jump. He was trying to be a presence that Rare Atom had to address and deal with, because typically the flow chart for Rare Atom's T-sides is, you know, establish mid-control, reset, focus extremities. But with that in mind, you know, Rare Atom were actually staying away from middle in terms of applying too much presence that direction, so Annihilation's ult was effectively doing nothing. Now that he's moved over to his A duties, he's having a lot more success. You know, double kills in, I think, 3 of the last 4 rounds, based on around that AWP, so maybe that's the discussion that Rare Atom will have themselves about how they deal with the CT adaptation. How they actually milk the rest out of this half and make sure that they have a nice advantage moving into the second. I just want to see more Mercury entries. That's what I really am hoping for this round, but he's just on a Tech 9?
Listen, that can be pretty nutty.
Might still do it.
Oh, Bartek, he's all the way in! Nothing can stop him, nothing at all. Jamyoung is gone, that's the only Palace sprong they had, and now that's full security for Annihilation! He's just gonna keep on going! Annihilation! You're right, Michael, he is playing up deathmatch, but we're gonna have to see what he's got for the second half after a short break. IHC bringing it back to 7. The deathmatch server has reset. I can't believe I made a tongue twister from one word in the first word that I was saying. Wow, isn't that great? I'm T-Time. He's Michael Umigazity.
A real struggle. But, I mean, Annihilation certainly had a couple things that we were certainly pleased to see. And, you know, maybe not rating the bar attack maneuvers so far, but he's been also pulling some consistent numbers. So, yeah, IHC being able to restabilize themselves coming into the second half, and we'll see if this pistol will be the one that breaks through and ties up the game or not. Could expect a lead here of Rare out of Mercury out in the open. Annihilation just demolished.
Okay. The bomb has been left back towards B. bRTech spots out a foot, but not doing too much with the Glock. It's bLitz to actually come in and start to bloody up the floors. bRTech finally chimes in, switches back to the USB. bLitz, with full knowledge of where Mercury is just going for some pre-fires, but as he does so, gives up some space for Mercury to come out and get some maneuvers going. Meanwhile, the bomb's been dropped on the other side of the map, so the good old "you guys go A, I'll go B" maneuver has clearly not worked.
Yeah, they weren't convinced. They didn't move until they saw the actual bomb, and, well, it pays off in dividends. We'll start off with a pretty solid entry there from Mercury, but he's just out in no man's land for that first duel. I like how assertive Mercury can be. We've had a lot of, I think, focus, especially last year, on entry fraggers. I know Kindar, people very hyped about, you know, people like Patsy, very hard entries. Mercury is that, but only every so often. Want to see more Mercury unleashed.
On Inferno when he's unleashed is a treat. A lot of these players on Inferno are a treat. I'm really happy with this series so far, is what I'm getting at.
Well,
Next
I'm
time.
hoping that bLitz can show us why he's the best eagle in Asia. Yeah, I mean, this man just don't miss with this gun.
Were you about to say North?
Yeah, no,
I thought you were about to say North Korea or something. So what?
nope, that's not even...
Now, everyone knows who the best deagle in North Korea is. But yes.
No, I mean, for some reason my brain went to North America, but North Asia, I would say. He's almost certainly that. The rest of Asia, hard to say.
North Asia is just Russia.
Man, cast around.
I'm glad this was an anti-eco. Put it that way.
I'm geographically challenged.
I think that name was already taken by a podcast, but hey. Yeah. Sadly discontinued. A lot of damage actually dealt from IHC this round out. We know we're having a bit of a faff about it, but even so, 2 kills is pretty respectable after Farm was taken out of some hands as well. That's quite nice.
Yeah, I do wonder as well whether we'll get Techno activated into the second half. Mosaic was certainly having, you know, it looks like his kills are fairly low, but his kills were very high impact. I think the ones in which he got or rounds in which he got kills, almost 100% conversion rate on them. So, you know, great job, Mosaic, for that. But we're going to have to look to Techno to maybe re-engage as well, because he's someone that people are excited about for his age to performance ratio. Did very well at the major, and we were sort of just talking about it in the break. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, death. Waited.
That is kind of absurd, though. To take that peak with the bombers versus what would likely be AKs is insane. Now, flashbang to CT will keep Techno alive for a while longer. He will just be trying to smoke it off. That sort leaves a massive gap in it, though, so it doesn't really do anything, as he's soon about to find out. Kaze traded out score. Getting aggressive in the meanwhile. There aren't any more flashbangs. He knows there's a player inside the smoke, but he doesn't want to contend with it too hard. And with Jamyoung waiting for any sort of cross to come through, score will end up falling as he's jammed in position. Annihilation and bRTech, the only ones left alive. bRTech trying to cover up the connect across. Annihilation, good for the first one with the smoke down. He'll need to start spamming through inside at Mosaic, going for the defuse, but initially thought he had a chance, but immediately gone and brought down.
Yeah, Annihilation doing it all on this A-bomb site. 3 kills in that post plant, but also just having good presence of mind to realize he could be jumped up on. He was very isolated from his ramp player who wanted to really just thin the herd, especially if they came out from connector. But with such heavy CT presence, Annihilation was left on an island. Can do it on a rifle as well. Very awkward round for Rare Adam to even attempt the retake as well, though, because by the time they got on that bomb, they didn't have kits, so they had to stick it. It was very desperate.
What's going to happen immediately? Oh, what a trade from Kaze. This time over. They are able to get the trade back, and the question is, can they get any more behind it? There is still the gun on the bomb site, but Mercury's got himself another one, and Kaze's deagle is still prolific. This wall of smokes will not be doing anything for them, as Annihilation is just cornered in. This could be the game-breaking round from Rare Adam right here and now.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit soul-crushing. Kaze having those 2 deagles and being able to save over those AKs. There's 3 of them, yeah. A very dangerous precedent to set. You just got your pistol round, you know, breaking out from not having the pistol round in the second half, rather, being able to crack in. It's a shame that it turns out that way. You know, they were just hoping to build their economy in that round, but Rare Adam might just take control of the game from here on out based on that play. Boost over to the middle, run boost, and all lined up for that AWP shot.
Score is not too happy about this, even if he does have the AK. This is very much good night. He's allowed to stay past his bedtime for now.
Just don't let me catch you up at this hour again. Oh, nice way to try and bleed this round dry. Really trying to get water out of every possible stone.
Without even having any stones.
They've got an AK with armor. Not that it matters too much. Scores 14 HP, but...
Yes, with armor, indeed.
If he gets wall banged or chipped through the wall, you know, he might affect a duel. Really having to add a bunch of filters to this potential play. And it's an AWP anyway, so his HP didn't matter. In fact, right through the brain. And so that AK is put to null use here for IHC. Rare Adam are starting to move into reinforce, because Gosea also cleared out the B-bomb site. No problems cleaning up the pistols here in the 20th round. Now IHC can reinvest. They would have liked that plan. You know, would have allowed for an AWP probably to come out for the attacking side, but this might just lean them to a faster play instead.
Techno's going to be relegated to the Tech 9. 3 and 13, I can't really blame them for that particular decision. He's not had a great time. Maybe the Tech 9 is where he can spin things down. He is pretty good with it. Score. However, now he's regretting having the AK. Maybe it's time to hand that back.
Any more nades? Doesn't seem so. Molotov cannot pierce that smoke, so Score will be alive. Albeit just. Don't know what they're waiting for, hoping that maybe Bartek can punish somebody peeking in from the ramp side jump up. But there's 3 clustered up over at A, so even if he finds the timing and breaches in, it's very likely he goes traded. This is the life of a Palace Lurk. Smoked off pretty perpetually. Molotovs as well. Everything that will just delay your timing even further. Hey, another smoke. What a surprise. But up con they go, so maybe with all his attention drawn towards Palace, they actually could crack in here.
Oh! Wow. All right, Mercury. He's been having a game and a half.
I mean, this is not how I thought this round was going to play out at all. Maybe get that 1 kill, sure, but he just kept... He didn't stop spraying, and they were all trying to creep out the connector at the same time, so... The stars aligned a bit there for Mercury.
I won't lie, I feel like I would believe it if we had an interview with him or something, and then Admin just says, actually, I only picked Mirage because Mercury kept telling me, bro, you don't know how good I am at Mirage, just pick it for me. Trust me, just pick it for me.
What is this, the whole Boros thing? I think the last time we were watching, like, yeah, I'll carry. He said that, and sure enough, he did. So, you know, I can appreciate him out of his word. Yeah, I would wonder whether Mercury has that level of dominance if he's in that kind of grind set.
Seems a little bit unlikely, you know. But hey, one can dream.
Yeah, I wouldn't dare to say anything to Advent.
It's
He
true.
is the captain of this ship.
It is very much true. Massive brain on the man. It has been known that that's why he sometimes doesn't frag as much, because his head just weighs him down slightly. Easy to get headshot when your head is that large, you know?
I see.
Yeah. Techno's trying to go in for the quick trade out for his life. If Bartek can be the one to actually trade, but instead it's a Tech 9 to the back of the bomb site. They've realized there's a player that can get right. That's Messiah taking the peak once again, but Bartek to cover it off. Mercury's already in the site, but they realize it. No, they won't. Mercury shuts him down, but while the bomb is being planted, Annihilation sets up for a deagle shot. It's only the body, but it's enough to keep Mercury honest, and down to 10 HP. Is a whisper away from death. All the CTs coming in from door. This is a funnel forward. And if they can recover an AK, if they can recover a rifle on the T side, maybe there's something still to be done. Score down and out. bLitz trying to cover off with the P250. Misses all of his bullets. Annihilation instead catches the 1D. bLitz going for the quick jump shot with the P250. Time is on his side, but nothing else is. Mercury circles around and he's running out of bullets. It's going for the USP. And somehow on 10 HP, he'll find the 4K and give them the 14.
I mean, even in a round where it looks like they might actually be able to secure a plant and actually deal with players, you know, there's smokes down to just outside of bench, and they knew that Mercury was low HP. They very tangibly sort of slowed down to see if they could try and punish that player, maybe even hope that they sort of reset their defenses, but they didn't move. They knew that they were simply biding their time. And Mercury still wasn't intimidated. You know, they set up for a flash so that they could peek into bench as well. So it kind of broke down that slowdown from the Mongolian squad. So, yeah, I think they're going to be pretty happy with how Mirage has panned out. You know, the string of rounds that they kept finding on their T side, it felt like they were really trying their best to try and manipulate rotations pretty frequently. It was only when Annihilation started coming alive that the IHC squad started answering back in any significant way. And doing so on the T side for Annihilation will be more challenging. I do wonder if in the round like this, bLitz will try and sneak his way up the connector. It's strange because they're very defensive. You know, they're playing very far back angles, but not all of them. bLitz has all of this ground, and if he was to get overwhelmed by double, triple peaks in middle, there would be very little support. Score was the only one in real proximity for it.
That's in a very dangerous angle. He will not be flashed off that deep into the ladder room. And Score's demise puts them heavily on the back foot. Like you said, defensive angles are always going to be a problem. If you end up losing one of your only aggressive players, you lose so much more map control because of it. Now, bLitz is still alive and very dangerous. Not anymore.
Yeah, well, give this man a pacifier. The Punisher's in town. Maybe it's Jamyong. Hasn't been the story of the whole game. Mercury's really been the one that's dominating on all fronts.
They're playing double under ballast. That is nasty. Mercury even comes out and finds the first. When they trade away, they're not going to be expecting a second, but they actually ended up peppering Advent through Mercury, if I'm not wrong. The question is, have they heard it? No, absolutely not. The bombs dropped, and Advent now just has to circle back and give Mosaic assistance he does not even need. 15 to 8, 7 match points in a row, and I think they might not need more than just the one.
Yeah, that's, I mean, we were talking about Advent having a big brain. There was no bigger play than just baiting the hell out of your star player, really. I mean, there was a very feasible chance that Mercury just stood his ground and got maybe 2 kills from that spot, but Advent was a contingency. They've got rounds to play off of as well. Yeah, they were never going to be suspicious of under Valk, not like that. Especially after Annihilation wallbanked him. You know, it wasn't like a full clear, so picture perfect. Very limited utility here for IHC as well if they want to answer back. And now they need 7 straight just to threaten an overtime. Does seem as though Mirage could come to a close here in the second half, with IHC only registering 1 round win. Came in just on the tails of Rare Adam's dominant start in the first half. But maybe you're right. Maybe IHC are just never destined to make it into the Pro League. A lot of second places,
kind of nuts.
A lot of third places. Yeah, they seem to miss it by a hair every time.
Whisper. That's all it takes. Annihilation, however, down to 2 HP, but he's okay with this trade. And maybe switch out his gun later on with one of the many Galils on his team if he wants to be so generous. Scores found an angle that he could actually look to exploit. There is no one who's going to be watching the wraparound from market if they end up heading to the B-bomb side. Right as I say that Kaze trains his op right back over, and as Mosea's taking these duels, he picks up one. Kaze misses his shot, and Score's been given so much space. Bartek opens in into the bomb side as well, but Mosea coming around for the back circle. A grenade forward. He just has to wait for his teammate to come through. It's a 2-on-2 retake. No util on the T side.
Mosea waits just for a moment, but Advent links up with him. No utility on either of them either, so holding their ground will be difficult. Bartek and bLitz, great swing. Both going in for the double swing, so were the Rare Adam players, but they stay alive and kicking just a little longer. And you saw the urgency there from Mosea and Jamyoung on that B-bomb site. As soon as they realized that Score could be flanking them from market, they both try and move away from their position to pick up pick up market so they don't have to worry about it. Because if they get flanked from there, the site will almost certainly crumble. Good attempt, but not enough for Rare Adam to finish business off here on Mirage.
Suddenly, bLitz is right through the smoke, but traded out too quick, and that trade is made even better. Techno picks up an AK, and as he's going down, switches out weapons, and just finds a kill with it, making it a double. Annihilation even forces Kaze down to half with Bartek there to finish him off. Mosea left to try and clutch, and a grenade will not be doing too much. Crossover, bomb planting. Stairs is where the threat lies. It's a threat that will be ignored for now, but too late to be tended to. Bartek takes him down. What a round from Techno.
Yeah, a quiet game as well Techno's had, so for him to get those 2 kills really made this round more feasible, because, you know, we kind of talked a little earlier about how bLitz might try and pull some sneaky maneuvers inside of the connector smoke. This was a round where he fully made that play, but had his teammates coming out from A, so if he didn't find success, he needed somebody else to step up, and in that round it was Techno. But I just want to give a shout out as well to Bartek, who has really just been consistently heading a number of these rounds, has been playing fairly passive, you know, fairly defensive, but when he's needed, and especially in these post plants, he has been really stellar.
Oh, I'm be feeling too happy about it. Oh,
Well, you might just grin a little.
serves you right.
Okay, you might grin a lot now. You actually might grin. You might be a whole joker.
This is getting dangerous. Mercury is still with the Eagle. 2 players inside connector as they move up. Mercury spotted them out. Even a body shot over there. Advent can't follow through. Now, all down to Mercury. That Deagle is going to prevail. Smoke already down. Molotov will be extinguished as a result of it. Annihilation has got to be so damn careful. Kaze, the only one with an AK, and he's been relegated to the B-bomb site, will be the last one to rotate in. It's all about the timing for Techno and whether or not he can find this frag. Annihilation's been tagged and Techno's been bagged. The last 2 players are low already. These Deagles are going to be so damn dangerous. Mercury finished off. Mosea still alive on the bomb site. Kaze's found a second. Annihilation has to do it all on his own, and he can't get it done. Rare Adam on the full eco round. Take it to 16. IHC thought that they were going to be given an easy round finally, but there is no easy round versus this team.
Let's not forget as well, that's the second round that they lose to a low buy in that same half. So that's really got to sting if you're IHC, because we were coming into Mirage maybe expecting this to be a map that IHC could even steal away from Rare Adam, and if there was going to be a possibility for them winning this series, they might even have